All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's Wednesday. We Grow Wednesday. Every hump day, the middle of the week, get together, find out what's growing on, what's happening with our food and our health and our wellness. And we get into it. We're going to play a little intro for you guys so get those notifications out, get the algorithm woken up. Some people won't get the notification for an hour. It's crazy. So we're going to get into it in about 4 minutes and 20 seconds. This is We Grow Wednesday, 1 o'clock Central Time every Wednesday. Today is September 24th, 2025. Let's grow.
When the indoor farmer has a tale to tell, under the glow of LED lights where his stories dwell. He's not just growing greens, he's sowing seeds of thought. In a studio with a microphone where wisdom's bought. We grow Wednesday from 8 to 9. Tune in, folks, for a communal time. With Growin, we'll learn to grow in life, in love, and in what we sow. He's a man of the soil and a man of the word, a veteran with a vision, his voice undeterred. From cannabis tales to the latest farm tech, his shows where the nerds and the farmers intersect. He lights up the airwaves with truth and care, sharing joys, the highs, and yes, the wear and tear. On We Grow Wednesday, we're all one big team. Growing together is the ultimate dream. We Grow Wednesday from 8 to 9. Tune in, folks, for a communal time. We're living, we'll learn to grow in life, in love, and in what we sow. He's a man of the soil and a man of the word, a veteran with a vision, his voice undeterred. From cannabis tales to the latest farm tech, his shows where the nerds and the farmers intersect. He lights up the airwaves with truth and care, sharing joys, the highs, and yes, the wear and tear. On We Grow Wednesday, we're all one big team. Growing together is the ultimate dream. We Grow Wednesday from 8 to 9. Join Waylon for our journey so fine. Learning, laughing, and sometimes sad, but always together from the good to the bad. He speaks of the benefits, the pros and the cons of the plant that has helped him feel less withdrawn. With guests from all walks, stories to share, Waylon makes sure that no one feels like they're there alone. So come every Wednesday, find your place in his light, where Waylon, the indoor farmer, invites you to grow not just plants, but your soul, your mind, in a world where together we're truly aligned. Tune in and grow with us, let's expand our view on We Grow Wednesday with Waylon. It's true.
Waylon, the indoor farmer, has a tale to tell. Under the glow of LED lights where his stories dwell. He's not just growing greens, he's sowing seeds of thought. In a studio with a microphone where wisdom's taught. We Grow Wednesday from 8 to 9. Tune in, folks, for a communal time with Waylon. We'll learn to grow in life, in love, and in what we sow. He's a man of the soil and a man of the word, a veteran with a vision, his voice undeterred. From cannabis tales to the latest farm tech, his shows where the nerds and the farmers intersect. He lights up the airwaves with truth and care, sharing joys, the highs, and yes, the wear and tear. On We Grow Wednesday, we're all one big team. Growing together is the ultimate dream. We Grow Wednesday from 8 to 9. Tune in, folks, for a communal time with Waylon. We'll learn to grow in life, in love, and in what we sow. He's a man of the soil and a man of the word, a veteran with a vision, his voice undeterred. From cannabis tales to the latest farm tech, his shows where the nerds and the farmers intersect. He lights up the airwaves with truth and care, sharing joys, the highs, and yes, the wear and tear. We grow Wednesday, all one big team. Growing together
On, the indoor.
And we're back. We're back. Still so many groups to share into. I like to share when I get time to the groups, but honestly, it doesn't really do a whole lot anymore. Used to be probably a little bit different, but I have a lot of friends that have groups, so I do like to share to you guys when I can. Right now, I'm kind of on a roll. Let's go. Keep it going. Anyway, yeah, it's September 24th today, 2025, and I'm your host, Waylon, the indoor farmer, and we have our co-host with us, Mr. Sprout. He's finally chilled out. I didn't think he was going to chill out today. I thought, let's see, is there anybody else? Anybody out there who has a group that wants me to share to it? Feel free to list it below. Uh, that's okay. I think that's probably good. Last one. There we go. Hey, what's up, guys? I see a few people in the house already. Kim and Caleb. Who's over here on the Rumble? Anybody yet? No? See, I could just hang out for a few minutes. Just wait for everybody. You know what? I design, or at least I think about my shows as something that you can totally watch later. Watch it on the replay. You don't have to be here when it's live. I do enjoy those live numbers. There's something about the dopamine and the energy, and there's something about it. You feed off of it. Sucking off the energy of the people chatting away and their fingers all down to the bone. I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, there is something happening there with that excitement of being live, and that's why I started doing live shows. I tried to live streaming with different random people that I found and met online. Okay, this is kind of fun. Well, the show can be done live, so we do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live, as they say. But today we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I pulled up a few stories already, and then we got a bunch of things that I shared today that I wanted to go look at as well, and some stuff over on X as well. We're going to check out. So today, what did I put down? So the Earth Bag Homes. I've had this tab open for a couple of weeks, and my friend Leslie sent it to me and said, check out this, and it's pretty cool. Earthbag Homes, we're going to look into that. John Deere has a lawsuit going on right now, a right to repair lawsuit. People evidently are not allowed to repair equipment, maybe. I have to look into it. And then there's an expectation that fuel and oil prices are supposed to be easing during the harvest season and beyond. We're going to read into that, of course, and then we're going to check out a little bit of foodandwine.com. They've got a couple interesting stories, and there's also marijuanamoment.net. Of course, we'll get into that a little later and see what they have going on. I didn't actually check any stories. We'll look at it right now. Alaska Psychedelic Campaign launches signature drive to put legalization measure on 2026 ballot. Interesting. Oh boy, there's a new Supreme Court filing where the Trump DOJ, of course the DOJ, a significant disagreement on marijuana consumer gun ban coming from the Supreme Court filings. We're going to check that out. And beyond, of course. So let's get after it. If you guys could help me out, hit the like button, share it out, tag a few friends. If you want to get in on the door prize I give away on every live show, that you don't need to be a member to enjoy. You just have to, check out the show. Tell me, disagree with me in the comments if you think I'm off base on something. Just get into it. We all have to eat. We all have to think about our health and wellness in a way that is a self-improving kind of a thought, right? But it's also a connection that we all have. Every person, maybe there's people out there that don't want to be healthy. I know one for a fact that literally says if it has vegetables in it, he will not eat it. things like that. Not that he's a meat eater, but like just anyway, processed stuff, and they don't care. There's a few people out there like that. I get it, but it's probably still a thought in their mind. You know, it's like, hey, should I do something healthy? You know. So anyway, we're gonna pull up a little bit of tunage, keep my headphones from dying on me. The first site, I think. Well, no, we're gonna go to the Earth buildings. It's kind of fun, a little fun start to the show. Hey, Margaret, over on the Rumble. What's up? Is it hard to find me on the Rumble? Maybe I could get some awesome, lovely friends to jump over there real quick, get the wake up its algorithm. You know what I mean? Andrew, what's up? My name is Miss Miller. I hear. Now, I did missed fire drill at Life Path today. Sounds like AI. Does anyone know Andrew Miller? Or AKA Miss Miller? Very interesting. I think I saw that. I think you said something once before in another live stream. Kim and Diane already hit me with the hashtag WTS. Plus Margaret, that's 3. Oh my gosh. Am I going to have to... This is going to be a tough day to read if I'm going to have to start hitting the bong already. Goodness gracious, ladies. Look at what you're doing to me over here. Look at what you're making me do. I can't believe what you're making me do right now. Holy cow. But yeah, check these houses out. I think it'd be really cool to build one. Buy some land, you know, that's undeveloped and you know, because it's super cheap if you buy land that's undeveloped or actually has like forested area, which would be hard to develop or more difficult, I guess, more work to develop, and build your own house by hand. Build a house by hand, and then you wouldn't have to have like all these construction permits. I don't know. I wonder what the difference is. I wonder like if you have to. If I was to build something like this, would I just not need any permits at all? Like, and what happens if, like, say, well, earthquake would probably be not good for any kind of house, right? But like ground settling, the ground settles a little bit. Concrete will break. You know, you might have a break in your basement floor somewhere. But what would happen to this house? You can do square earth bags, round earth bags. I think we looked at this one other time, but I wanted to bring it back up because I found that I still had the tab open, and I'm like, this is it's a really cool way to build. And then you could say, I built that house by hand, you know. All right, I'm procrastinating on this, I guess. I'll go ahead and do it. Can I get just one more person to hit hashtag WTIF? We already got Margaret, we already got Diane, we already got Kim Marston in the house showing the love. If we get one more, it's like when a fairy gets its wings or whatever. You know, I guess I'm the fairy in this situation, but I digress. I do have a little runts action here. A little runts action. We're gonna put a little mullen or mullen. I don't like saying mullen because I know someone whose last name is Mullen. It's like it just seems weird. You were named after an herbal plant, or maybe the family was like they were a family of herbalists back in the day. Back in the way back day. I don't know. Amber, hello. Come on in. Hit that share button. Oh, you still have to get the permits from the city or county. Oh, you know about this, Diane? Okay. Yeah, I haven't gotten into like searching about it or anything yet. I gotta get some mullen first. Grab some mullen this is freeze-dried mullen from Ozark Mountain High Creations. Are you guessing, Diane, or do you know this? Maybe it depends on the municipality. It's on Facebook that came here. Thank you. I appreciate you coming over there. Look at what happened. Just 2 people coming over here. Literally just wakes that Rumble algorithm up. It's crazy. takes some time too. People usually come in after the parts where I've given out like some kind of information or went through some kind of a story or something. Yesterday was a good show, though, I gotta say. Thank you everybody who helped out yesterday, and we had a pretty good turnout to check out the Keefe Canifest footage. A lot of good footage of the Mendo Dope Boys towards the end there. Watching a lot of good music. Oh, I'm sorry, Sprouty Boy. I didn't mean to wake you up, my dude. That was very nice of me. Dad, he said, son of a bitch, you told me to sit still, and that's what I'm doing, and then you bring a jackhammer in here and just start wailing away on it. He closed his eyes immediately. He's like, alright, we're back to the monotone dad voice. Just use that to drift ever so softly back to sleep. Alright. Here we go. Take a little puff here as we talk about these. This looks like somebody's testimonial. Step 1, design the earth bag home. Right? We're step 2. I don't think we went all the way to step 2 last time. Okay, the foundation. No one believed a rubble trench foundation system would work, but if you live in an area that experiences a lot of rainfall, nothing beats it. See gravel foundation for details. Okay. I wonder how deep it is. I'll take you back. Oh, I'm procrastinating. All right, ladies, I got it. Cheers. Autumn, hello. Autumn, can I get a hashtag WTIF? I thought Amber might have stopped to say something, but she didn't. Maybe I might not be seeing all the comments either. Fucking Facebook wants to screw with me nowadays. Hey, thanks, Autumn. Cheers. All right. Yeah, I like this idea. I think it would be a fun project, even if you had a land with a home, with like a traditional foundation and everything. It could be a fun thing to do either way. Doesn't look like it would be very big. Like, that's not a very big house, but I feel like you can add to it. I think there's some ways to, you could make several smaller circles, but like next to each other, maybe. Like make this compound. I want to make an earthbag mansion, baby. Maybe not too many bedrooms, but like, you got the earthbag rec room over there. You got the earthbag bedroom. The whole thing is a bedroom, and you wouldn't really need hallways, I guess, in that case. Just have them all linked together in different ways. Interesting. I think I like it. Rose in the house. Hey, Rose. Thank you very much. So the gravel foundation in a trench in a circular motion. And it keeps all the water away from the middle. That's pretty cool. Oh, the walls. Okay, go back to here. It doesn't really... Why would anything move into a tent or live in the mountain for 8 months? A mountain with no power, no water, and no permanent shelter to speak of. There's really no steps. There's no like... Okay. So step 3, the wall. Try to keep your wall straight. Easier said than done on a round house, right? Use a plumb line, a plumb line to check. That makes sense. First of all, take an earth bag and fold the corners in. Fill it with a specified amount of damp, slightly wet earth. The first bag is the The first bag in the circle needs to be nailed shut. The second bag is laid up against the first so that the two openings are facing each other. The first bag holds the second shut. Keep laying bags until you've finished a circle. Okay, number 6, when a circle is complete, take something heavy and flat and tamp the entire layer into the soil is nicely compacted and the bag snug. Tamping is key. You gotta tamp. It's also damn hard work. Very hard work. Gotta tamp it down real good. Windows and doors, that's gotta be like a whole nother difficulty level. Making mounds is the best way to ensure your windows stay in shape. Mounds. Bear in mind that as you tamp your bags, they are rammed up against frames and will bend or warp them unless the frame is incredibly thick. Okay. That makes sense. So that's why they got that super thick frame right there. Okay. Interesting. Mountains can be made from scrap wood if it's lying around. The only trouble with the mold is they are devils to get out. Oh yeah, you couldn't just like replace it. Okay, yeah, that's fun. We can always check it out some other time as well, but I'm interested in trying to do it sometime myself. All right. Let's go to this method here. Hey Jess, welcome in. Oh, Facebook's already losing the Rumble today. Rumble's already over 10, already at 10. Rumble is the shit. All right, so we're over at farmweeknow.com. I saw a couple of things that I wanted to read about. What's this? Senate confirms 3 USDA officials. Okay. Doesn't seem like a crazy story. Let's see. This is interesting. The lawsuit against John Deere. Check that out. They also have an article. Orchards picking abundant apple crops. So it must be a good season for apples this year. That's good news. Finally, some good news about crops. And then there was this fuel, oil prices projected to ease through harvest. I feel like everybody's interested in this. What do you mean? Am I getting cheaper gas? What are you talking about? It's from 12 hours ago by Daniel Grant from Farm Week Now. Let's get into it. The latest short-term energy outlook released by the U.S. Energy Information Administration, EIA. The Energy Information Administration. Wow. Never heard of that one. You guys know about that one? This month offered good and bad news for farmers this harvest and beyond. Good and bad news, okay? On the bright side, EIA projects some relief at the pump for farmers and consumers alike, as rising inventories of crude oil could result in falling prices of oil and fuel. However, those who use natural gas to dry grain for heating or other purposes should brace for higher prices, according to the latest projections. Interesting. Higher prices on natural gas. EIA projects the Henry Hub natural gas spot price could increase from an average of $2.91 per British terminal units BTU in August to $3.70 by the fourth quarter this year, and up to $4.30 next year. So they're projecting it to go up. They're projecting gas and oil to go down. Rising natural gas prices reflect relatively flat natural gas production amid an increase in U.S. liquefied natural gas exports. EIA noted in the September report. Interesting. So we're exporting more than we're using for ourselves. And somehow that's raising the price. Production of crude oil, on the other hand, is expected to increase with global oil inventory builds predicted to average more than 2 million barrels per day from the third quarter into the first quarter of 2026. 2 million barrels per day. I think maybe they'd come up with like a bigger unit, super barrels, or like I don't know, truckloads or tankers. Like, be like 1 million tankers or something. I don't know. Perry Wood, what's up, man? Oh, we got Rose and Perry are in, and Jess all hit me with a hashtag. Every time I see three new hashtags, hashtag WTIF from people that haven't done it already, I am required to hit the bong again. I just made that rule today, but seems like a good rule. Cheers. I think I like that rule. It's like it has to be people that didn't hit it already. Okay, here we go. Gasoline oil price estimates. Average gasoline oil prices. Category 2024. U.S. gas per gallon. This is the United States overall. So you got to remember, your state then also taxes the gas and taxes the pump and taxes different things that make it go higher still. So looking at the price for the U.S. average doesn't mean shit when it comes to the price that you pay at the pump. But anyway, it says 2024 was $3.30, 2025 was $3.10, and 26 is forecast to be $2.90. And then Brent crude oil per barrel, oil going down quite a bit, $80 to $81 in 2024, $68 in 2025, and $51 forecast in 2026. The EIA subsequently predicted the global price of Brent crude oil could decline from an average of 68. Okay, I just read this in August 59 for the fourth quarter and down to $50 early 2026. OPEC Plus, Organization for Petroleum Exporting Countries. That's what OPEC stands for. Organization for Petroleum Exporting Countries. I think I've heard that before. It's been a while. You know what? I don't think I need to fix my sign about that. Oh boy. Hey, what's up, Jess? JB, James, hello. That's two more. They don't know about the rule, though. You guys, don't tell them. After the EIA outlook was finalized, announced plans to boost its collective oil production by 137,000 barrels per day through the year and into 2026, further boosting the case for ample oil supplies. Since oil prices make up more than half the cost of gasoline, EIA estimated the average cost of regular gas could decline from $3.10 per gallon to $2.90. Demand simmering before a possible uptick next year. Interesting. Gas demand is going down, and eventually pump prices should follow suit. You think? Depends on the state. Depends on if you're in a corrupt state that's full of corrupt politicians like Illinois. And it's funny because a lot of people from different states could say that, and a lot of them are probably right. But it's just funny when you point out that you live in Illinois, because those were like four different governors have gone to prison for different things here. It's like they were pretty widely seen across the country, and so it's just funny. You just kind of know that when you're in Illinois. let's see. We estimate gas expenditure will average less than 2% of disposable income this year, down from the average of 2.4% over the previous decade. Okay, well, it's not bad. Not bad. Now, I don't know what the current climate of fracking is, but if they're still fracking, which there's some good points on both sides of fracking. I don't know that I am totally for or against it. What I'd actually be more for is us to ramp up things that we know we can create electricity with, and not necessarily be so worried about electric vehicles, and use our liquid fuels and our gas and things like that for those mobile vehicles. But we also use a lot of that stuff when we're in like generators and stuff. And so if we could not have as much of a need for using liquid fuels in generators, like using for just a couple of thoughts on it, would be tidal energy. A lot of tidal energy designs, which are really great, which is like the ocean energy, kinetic ocean energy. And the other option that I really like, actually, there's a third option, but the other option I really like is these miniature nuclear power plants. They're like the size of you can be set on the back of a semi truck, and you can make these mini things, and you could encase them in whatever you want to make them much safer than. You can't encase a giant, nuclear power plant. You can't do that. You can't. I mean, you could. That's a lot, But if they have all these little ones, which then can be, easily flooded or shut down very easily. There's some really good ideas there, and I think it's much better, I think, to have a whole bunch of little ones than it is to have a bunch of big ones, Camera, where are you going? Going back? Camera, hello? Here, thank you. Anyway, moving on. The next story I wanted to read was this lawsuit from John Deere. Gas prices are up. That's well, you might have missed some of the story there, Rose. I was saying they're projected to be down. Gas prices in your area might be up, but that was talking about the price of the federal price. But then when it gets to your state, that's why you might have gas at $5, $6, $7, $10 a gallon in California, and it doesn't go more than it's around $4 here. So comment below, guys. Tell us what your gas costs a gallon right now. What did you last pay at the pump? And then tell us what state you're in. Just for a little fun. People, for some reason, have totally forgotten about their own state and their own state's hands in everything, all of these prices. Price of food, price of eggs, price of all this. Your state has its own taxes on all those things, and it changes the price from state to state, from county to county sometimes. Hell, from cities, I don't know. I remember when gasoline, this was back when, it was like, I want to say like 05 or something. There was this crazy gas scare, and we had a local Casey's that got in trouble. I don't know what happened, if somebody got arrested or fired or whatever, because they just suddenly hiked up their own gas to like $5 a gallon, which was like completely insane back then. And it was just out of like panic. And it was just, so like there's a lot of hands that go into what you're paying, what the cost of things, depending on shipping and all this other stuff. People are like, tariffs, tariffs, like without really knowing what who's getting what cut of what, because your state is definitely changing, especially when you live in a place like Illinois. You know what I mean? So Jess paid $348. Okay. Other Jess paid $298 in Maryland. Okay. Over $350 where you are, Diane. Okay. Nobody, hello. Come on in on the Rumble. We pay less for gas now. Move to Centralia. Walmart has a gas station. Oh yeah. You get the deal on the gas because you use the Walmart. Makes sense. I get gas at Costco. That's the only reason I got the card, because I get premium gas and I wanted it as cheap as possible, and that's how you do it. It's Costco. And I also wanted to be able to go into Costco if I wanted to. I downgraded my card because I don't really go into Costco as much as I thought I would. It's hard to do regular grocery shopping at Costco. Sometimes like they have certain things, might be able to get a 50-pound bag of chicken nuggets that day, but you might not be able to find mayonnaise if you need it, or like, I don't know, just an example. If you do, it's in a jar that you're never going to eat before it goes bad. I mean, I'm kidding. They do have they've changed, they've added some things, but it's hard. Anyway, the next story here is about this lawsuit against John Deere. The AGCO seeking rare appeal in right to repair lawsuit against John Deere. Right to repair. The right to repair. That's something that a lot of states have like different stances on as well, and that is whether you can repair like certain things, and I guess we're going to get into it. I don't know the details exactly. I think it has to do with whether you're able to repair, I guess, I don't know if automobiles are in on that, but I think there's certain things that they want to keep regular people from just fixing themselves in some situations. So let's see what it says. AGCO has asked a federal court to allow what is a rare appeal in an ongoing right to repair lawsuit brought against John Deere by the U.S. Federal Trade Commission after a judge ruled in August that Deere would have access to confidential business information from competitors. AGCO filed a motion in the U.S. District Court of the Northern District of Illinois at the end of last week, asking the court to certify on August 8th, 2025, opinion and order on the data question. Doing so would allow AGCO to file for interlocutory appeal. Interlocutory. Interesting. Interlocutory review is an appeal for a non-final court order while other parts of the case are pending. Such an appeal is a rare exception to the final judgment rule that typically requires parties to wait until entire cases are resolved before filing appeals. It's a rare way to file an appeal during the case, I guess. That's interesting. The district court ruled Deere has the right to access documents obtained by the FTC as part of its investigation into allegations that the company has illegally monopolized the farm equipment repair market by not allowing farmers to make specific repairs on their own tractors and other equipment. That's the thing. They can keep you from repairing an item through its warranty. The warranty might say, if you take it apart for any reason, void the warranty. And a lot of these things are simple repairs farmers have been doing for a long time. Deere was granted access to what CHN Industrial Kubota. I've heard that before, but I don't think it's said that way. Kubota and AGCO have called the crown jewels of sensitive business information, including pricing data, financial reports, and sales information. The same data would then be given to the 16 farmer plaintiffs and other ongoing lawsuits. Oh, snap. getting it all out there. AGCO wants to be allowed to file an interlocutory appeal to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Seventh Circuit, asking to review on whether District Court's order was legal. The court did not apply. The court did so not apply the heightened protections traditionally afforded under federal rules, AGCO told the district court on September 19, 2025, but it invoked a generalized fairness-based rationale. A fairness-based rationale. ACGO goes on to say no appellate court has addressed these questions. As the court acknowledged, the only decision addressing objections by non-parties to the disclosure of information already reduced to the government through compulsory process is a special master's report, a recommendation denying two motions to modify an existing protect order, maybe existing protection order in a trial level merger case. It's getting big. ACGO wants appeals court to answer what rules govern the disclosure of government-held non-party materials. Rules govern. Okay. Immediate review will materially advance both the FTC action and the MDL multi-district litigation by resolving the standard now before ACGO's most sensitive financial and dealer information as released to Deere and the MDL plaintiffs. Disclosure that cannot be reversed once made, ACGO told the court. Interesting. The need for review is especially acute for ACGO, a limited purpose intervener, I guess, whose sole interest is the protection of confidential. I don't know if you guys just heard what the noise that Sprout made. It's crazy. Confidential information it provided under compulsory process. So this is a long, story. I don't think we need to read it all. Farmer plaintiffs from across the country have alleged Deere violated the Sherman Antitrust Act and seek damages for farmers who paid for repairs from Deere dealers begin on January 12th, 2018. Beginning from January 12th, 2018 to the present. Okay. Well, interesting. John Deere is one of the big guys, so we'll see what happens. They got a lot of money. Let's see if there's anything else newsworthy. Illinois State Fair celebrates major success. Okay, must have had a good turnout, I guess. Now it's over 1 million visitors. I didn't go to that. I should have gone to that. I've only been to it one time. Seeking rare appeal. Fuel. Ford, October signaling warmer weather. Yeah, it's definitely been a warmer October here. Senate confirms 3 USDA officials. I don't think we need to really mess with that. Northern Illinois farmer hopes to start harvest this week. Well, I hope you do too, my guy. I'm not reading a whole story about it. I do hope you succeed in your farming ways. So, America's most historic diners that are worth a detour. So there must be like a list of diners here. That might be fun to read. And then that shopping cart you didn't return. It's worse for the planet. What the heck does that mean? $2.99 a gallon, New York, Rose. Well, that's not bad. $2.98 a gallon in Maryland. Oh, nobody hit me with it. It was okay. Oh, she's an employee and gets the extra 10 cents off. That's what's up. Okay. You still paid more than people in other states. So it's just crazy how it changes. Hey, appreciate it, Andrew. Thanks for stopping by. We got one hashtag WTIF on the board from nobody. We need 2 more from people who haven't hit it yet. Every time I see 3 hashtag WTIFs from people who haven't put it in yet, I have to stop and take a bong hit. So that's my new rule. But yeah, this is supposed to be back here. You can't put it right on the middle thing because that hurts. Got to be one or the other. A shopping cart you didn't return. It's worse for the planet than you think. Like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I've ever taken a shopping cart away from a grocery store. I especially haven't taken it and thrown it into this mucky water. I don't know what's happening here, but we'll read the key points. More than 520,000 shopping trolleys are left abandoned across the UK. Oh, there's shopping trolleys each year, causing both financial losses for supermarkets and environmental issues. A new University of Warwick study found that collecting and refurbishing carts generates significant carbon emissions, mainly from diesel vans are used for retrieval. Despite the impact, researchers note it is still more sustainable to recover carts than to manufacture new ones, making prevention the most eco-friendly solution. I see. Alright, I think I get it. It's a story from the UK. Intriguing. Do we have a list? I want to see a list. Give me a list. Okay, here we go. Number 1. Lou Mitchell's in Chicago. Did we read this list already? I feel like I've seen them talk about Lou Mitchell's in Chicago. The oldest diner on our list. Opened 3 years before Route 66 and has fueled travelers and locals alike since 1923. Known for its hearty breakfast, the menu features 13 styles of pancakes and waffles, and 23 omelets, from classics to unexpected pairings like sweet Michigan apples with sharp Old English cheddar. What? My Sprout just twitched his tail, and I started reading about the food. He's like, "Oh yeah," he's sleeping, but his tail started wagging. Yeah, tell me more. Give me more about the food. Let's see. For a sweeter breakfast, try the Belgian malted bacon waffle with fresh whippers butter, or whipped butter. And, why I said whippers. And maple syrup. Guests are greeted with free donut holes and milk duds. A nod to Uncle Lou's Greek heritage and long-standing hospitality. All right, we're not going to read all of these, but number 2, Frank's Diner in Wisconsin, Kenosha, Wisconsin. Frank's Diner. It's like a train car diner or something. It's pretty cool. Let's see here. Number 3, Palace Diner. Palace Diner in Maine. Bedford, Maine. That's a tiny little diner too. Number 4, Ever Ready Diner in New York. Hyde Park in New York. Ever Ready Diner. That. Red light district up in here. Number 5, the Apple Pan. The Apple Pan in Los Angeles. It's a neat little diner. Are they telling us the dates on each one of these? From 47 to diner from 1947. Okay. Number 6, White Manna in Hackensack, New Jersey. That's a tiny looking diner. Ooh. White Manna hamburgers. Interesting. Is that it? Okay. 9 outstanding breakfast sandwiches across America. Oh, it's just going to make me more hungry. Oh, yeah, Yeah, we read that already. If you guys haven't gotten a number yet, go check this real quick. Looks like nobody got in on it. We're at 13. And I think we only had one winner yet this week. Number 7. We'll get to some marijuanamoment.net here in a little bit. Am I missing comments? What's going on here? Look at this. See if I can get some chatter going on. Alright. We did hit our 10 mark on Facebook, so you guys will get in on the door prize a little later. Okay. Read where the ostriches were being killed up in Canada. Are you read? Okay, I'll have to look it up. I think they were upset because the meat and eggs are great for antibiotic purposes, healthy for us. People were upset, and that's why they were being killed? I'll have to look into it. I just checked on the package. You have to file a missing package request and file a claim. What the heck, USPS? Well, I'll have to mess with that when I can. Probably after the show here. Make a note. They probably broke it and didn't want to say anything. All right, what's Diane talking about with the ostrich? What's going on with the ostrich? Oh, right there, second search, ostriches Canada. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency ordered the culling of approximately 400 ostriches at Universal Ostrich Farm. Oh snap! This is from, I guess, from X. CFIA mandates cull of 400 ostriches at Universal Ostrich Farm after bird flu detection. Well, that's, unfortunate, but I guess I can understand if they really found some bird flu. You never know. Hey Chris, what's up, man? If I can get 3, well, I need 2 more hashtag WTIFs from people who haven't typed it yet. I'll stop and take a bong hit just for you guys. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency ordered the culling 400 ostriches. Let's read this in Edgewood, British Columbia, following the detection of highly pathogenic avian influenza in December 2024. 69 birds dying naturally from the outbreak. Farm owners Karen Esperson and Katie Pastini argue the remaining flock developed natural immunity after over 250 symptom-free days, and that the birds' eggs hold research value for viruses like H5N1, but federal courts upheld the order in May and August 2025. On September 22nd and 23rd, RCMP officers secured the site, arrested family members for obstruction, and faced protests that delayed the cull with a fire at hay bales, further stalling execution as of September 24. That's today. It's a summary of posts. This is a summary of posts from X, and will evolve over time. So I don't have to go reading a bunch of different people. It's kind of just a summary. Here's a video of it.
They want you to come out.
Okay.
You don't have to be arrested. You
No.
don't have to be, right?
No.
If you come out, you can just go out.
Okay.
And that'll be it. And if you're arrested, they're going to put you in the runner and just drive you out there. And then.
Okay.
So it's better if you.
Okay, but I have a question again. And where's the CFIA?
Well, where's Mark?
Mark. Everybody's been trying to do while you guys set up and get everything done is make sure that the animals are humanely fed, humanely taken care of, humanely. They're not going to panic. They're not going to be involved with strangers, and that we're just allowed the opportunity to feed them. Continue to feed them. They just need to be so you guys set up. We're not impeding your way, but we just want the right to just feed the animals so that they continue to be okay.
But the thing, we have to process things to do to get in there. The thing is, Karen,
But wouldn't it be better also that you guys are brought in and that we show you the animals so that you know the animals you're dealing with?
they have to go in there.
They don't know them. They don't know them.
But I'm just saying to you, we want you guys to leave voluntarily.
Hi, up in
As the
CFIA.
inspector,
Yeah.
I'm asking you to leave voluntarily now. Are you going to leave?
Are you serious?
Voluntarily?
Yes.
Because if you don't, you'll be impeding me as an inspector, and that's an obstruction under the Health of Animals Act.
We're not obstructing. We're just
not
trying to
obstructing.
feed them.
Yesterday
We're not
you said
obstructing.
we
We're
would
not
have
being in
something-
anybody's way. Jesus. We are not in anybody's way by just feeding the animals. Paul? Yes.
You guys are going to be arrested.
Canada's authoritarian anyway.
Yes. You're going to be arrested. Right?
They're not allowed to protect themselves from the government.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm just saying, you guys, if you don't leave voluntarily, you're going to be arrested. You can hear this Saturday. So I don't want to do that.
Taken where?
I'm going to let you know right now.
Where, Paul?
That's why you're going to be taken to the canal. Most likely.
Yeah.
Why
Given documents, right? So this is why this choice is important, right?
It's really important for you to make that decision.
Right?
One more time.
That's why this choice is really important, he said.
If you don't come out, and I understand there's
Do
a
you
legal
understand?
process. There's a process,
Do you
right?
understand?
I do. I'm just explaining to you that we're giving you every opportunity to walk out
Opportunity.
without being arrested.
Opportunity. I'm giving you guys the opportunity to do what's right for Canadians. Is it a joke? Why is this funny? No, why is this funny to this guy in the front? How is this funny? How is this funny for the men that work for you? Are you happy? Are you getting this? That you're breaking apart a family? That you're gonna take a livelihood away in 400 lives? No. No. No.
Wow. This was yesterday. Yeah, you can't humanely cull them without keeping them happy. They're just going to walk through and start killing them, I guess. This must be her here, too.
From Canada. Mr. Trump, President Trump, this is a cry out, a plea from Canada. Please stop the slaughter of almost 400 healthy ostriches that are going to suffer today or tomorrow. We need a miracle. The world has been calling on a miracle. This is of interest, as you know, I know you know. Yeah, you would say hello. They are claiming that these animals are virulent and that have a virus and that they're sick, but instead these ostriches hold the key to humanity with their antibodies that can help with therapeutics and new innovative science
They
that
don't
can
want that.
actually make us less reliant on vaccinations and pills.
Yep,
This
they
is
don't
for our
want that.
children. This is for our grandchildren. This is for freedom. This is for hope. All of our animals have names. Our oldest is 35. And Carney, Mark Carney, nobody will listen. All of our politicians have just turned a blind eye. Please help us. President Trump, please help us in Canada. The world needs
That
you
would
right
be
now. We need
insane if
leadership.
he was able. I mean,
We
he might be
admire
able to
your
speak about
leadership,
it,
and
but
we are calling on you. Please, please help us. At Universal Ostrich Farms in Edgewood, British Columbia, we are asking for a miracle. Thank you from Katie Pasidney.
Pasidney. Well, she's going to be pretty famous now. Not from the show, but we got 20 people in here. Now you guys know. There is more important science being, or that's a good angle and very true. Like if these birds survived, like was it 75 other ones that died from bird flu, these ones survived and they have no symptoms for 250 days afterwards. That's pretty significant. I mean, I'm no Scientologist,
Mr. Trump,
but
President Trump, this is a
I'm
cry
pretty
out.
sure that's like something to be studied for the very least their babies. Over 250 days after the bird flu affected them, and they are all healthy and alive and well. These birds can live 50 to 70 years of age, and our government has ordered them to be culled. Yeah, that's this looks like a different news clip. More ostrich videos. They can be mean. I used to detassel, and I remember one time there was an ostrich farm, man. That they told us not to get too close to the fence. It'd snap at you. All right, that was it. Yeah, this is pretty intense. It's happening right now. Thanks, Diane. I appreciate telling me about the story. Chris, no, Chris has the right idea. Ostrich meat, ostrich eggs, like that's what this farm is for. The farm isn't to like just keep ostriches, and to what Diane had said earlier, like they're it's not only is it good meat and it's good for you and the eggs are good for you and all that, but now they have this other level of importance with studying them for flu and or for the bird flu. So again, just putting out video after video. A lot of people are sharing it. I'm not sure who Daisy Media is. Daisy Media must be a Canadian media outlet, or oh, let's see what this is about.
Hey, did you hear that? So Sunbelt was commissioned to bring in the big scissor lifts so that the Army could come in and shoot the things. Sunbelt said no. They took their shit home.
They were just gonna shoot them. We got some people there helping, or not? Like it helps to get a lot of people there in the way.
Are you serious? They're not going to be able to do their jobs because the contractors are backing out left and right. And all that's going to be left is you guys standing here.
Everybody's going to lose contracts. And you wouldn't do it. You didn't have the balls. Think about it. No more scissor lifts and shooting them. Okay, now guys, here's the thing. Jump on. Okay?
We're all yelling stuff at the police like that's going to do anything for you.
Holy shit. Okay, that's good news.
It was for the video. Watch me do this.
Sunbelt was renting some equipment to the CFIA. They thought it was going on. They said, no, we're not renting our ship. We're taking it all back.
Evil monsters. Pieces of food.
Where's Kim Cooper at these days? I wonder if she's over there Maybe that was her making the noise. Bet she could do that. Get over there. I don't know how far away it is. Tag Kim in here. Let's ask her about this ostrich farm. Yeah, this is intense. Happening as we speak. Although this was a couple days ago. The first video, or the first part we saw, I think was more closer to today. This was yesterday. Yeah, okay. No video out today. 2 o'clock right now, 2:06. Just this update here. All right, let's check the numbers one more time. Okay, nobody else wanted a number. We're going to spin it. I don't know if I want to spin it twice today or maybe go ahead and wait and spin it twice on Thursday. I like people in the boxes. Gives us a minute to pause the game, the story boxes game. All right, let me check the... Aha. That's why I check it. All right. Good luck, subscribers. Thank you for being there. Thank you for being a friend. Travel around the world and back again. I remember well. Just kidding. All right. Well, let's have a little. We're going to look at the marijuanamoment.net, and then I definitely want to go troll over on on X for a couple things. Actually, you know what? I forgot about that. I do have a couple of posts on Facebook I wanted to look at as well. There's one post about how like people are afraid of canning and preserving, but we'll go ahead and outsource our food production to people we don't know from countries we don't even know where they're coming from. And yeah, so it's a good little video. I think we'll play that here in a minute. Number 4. Missing. Let's see. I gotta leave and come back every now and then to see if there's any comments. Number 4. Who was number 4? Who does number 4 work for? Bum, bum, bum. Who's number 4? Let's see. Perry Wood. Perry was here too. Congrats, Perry. I don't have my other hand free. Yeah, I can set this down. Let's tell him anyway. Congrats. Congrats. You won. Exclamation point. Guys, I got to get outside as soon as I can. Got so much more tying up to do of the plants before harvest time, before they get too heavy. They're already too heavy. A bunch of branches are already too heavy. So I got to get out there. But I also got to get over to Office Max, and I also got some things I got to get. So I got some errands to run today. I think I gotta find. I'm trying to find a bigger box too to ship out that level up mycology prize to Chris. Congrats to Chris. All right, let's set up the door prize here at least, real quickly. This is from Rumblers. Anybody that's on Rumble, and hit that like button and hit that comment section. Let's see. I think I saw Jess over there too. Nobody. Rose. And that's it. That's all the Rumblers. Wow. Chris, Perry, JB could all be getting another spot on the wheel. Just saying. All right, next we are. You know what? I'm going to pull this down so I can find it first. If you don't follow my profile on Facebook, I do share some posts from time to time that are worthy. Okay, so this coming weekend, I'm going to a little event here at SunMed in Quincy, Illinois. One of our sponsors. Shouts out to Matt Anderson. We're gonna take my son to this event. It's not it's family friendly. There's going to be some goodies that you get there as well. So there's also an IV infusion thing, which is like a healthy IV or like a post hangover IV, if you will. Okay, so here's one of the things I want to.
One ingredient in most chocolate bars. I'll give you a hint. It is not cacao. This is a cacao pod. This is where chocolate comes from. This fruit started off as medicine, and it's one of the most powerful plants that ancient cultures had access to. Cacao contains 40 times more antioxidants than blueberries. It has some of the highest magnesium out of all plant foods, and it naturally boosts your serotonin and dopamine. But then sugar entered the picture and everything changed. Chocolate was no longer chocolate, it became candy. Today, some bars are over 50% sugar by weight. 1 in 2 Americans now lives with a chronic illness. And it's been proven that sugar is to blame for a lot of that. And it's hidden in almost every single chocolate bar on the shelf. So we asked ourselves, what would happen if instead we paired this magical superfood with nature's most nutrient-dense sweetener, organic dates? Would it taste any good? Would it still feel like chocolate? Or would it suck? Well, not only did it not suck, it turned out rich, fudgy, and unbelievably delicious. It was the most delicious chocolate we've ever had. We truly believe it is the future of chocolate altogether. This is the Conscious Bar. Just cacao and dates. That's it. And we really, really, really want you to try it, so we're hooking you up. Click below to get 20% off your first order.
Interesting, huh? Get some actual cacao beans or whatever. Cacao fruit. I wonder how it tastes without sugar. I kind of want to try the conscious bars or whatever. So here's the other video.
Why are so many people scared of this? This is how folks not too long ago did food. There was no Bilo, Kroger, Publix. Why is it so much more socially acceptable now to trust our groceries into the hands of strangers? Different countries before our food even gets up to us. Different countries, different hands, different companies, different strangers. But this scares people. This scares people to do. This scares people to eat. They are baffled. They don't even know what this is. This is health. This is control. This is power. This is self-sufficiency. This is independence. This is real food. This is the food that you eat. And you won't end up with cancer 15, 20, 25 years down the road. This is life.
Dripping off the back.
This is pride. This is so important. And it got lost not too long ago. It's time to find it. Why are so many people scared of this?
It's a good point. Making some good points there, huh? Why are so many people scared of it? I think scared of doing it wrong or scared of messing it up. Well, I guess same difference. What is this? One day ago, Kamala Harris says Joe Rogan lied about her willingness to discuss marijuana on his podcast. Oh, she's dredging that back up. Remember that time I was going to be on Joe Rogan? Just go on the show. You got time now. Just go on. Let's see. New Texas emergency rules ban hemp sales to people under 21 in line with governor's executive order. Hemp sales. Any hemp sales to anyone? So they're talking even like medicinal CBD for kids that have different conditions. I wonder. I wonder. Let's see what this Alaska psychedelics campaign is all about. Launch a signature drive to put legalization measure on 2026 ballot. Let's see. Now again, we're at marijuanamoment.net to legalize certain psychedelics such as psilocybin and DMT. Imagine legal DMT. I guess certain amounts. About a month after the lieutenant governor's office certified the measure for circulation, a combination of volunteer and paid petitioners for the Alaska Natural Medicine Campaign got to work after receiving initiative booklets from the state. With a requirement to collect 35,000 signatures, advocates are working hard to make that happen as we get into the fall season here. David Karabelnikoff, Alaska policy advisor and member of the steering committee of the campaign, told Marijuana Moment on Monday, having collected signatures over the past week. Karabelnikoff said he's found support from surprisingly a wide variety of people. That even included a longtime member of Narcotics Anonymous, which counsels people on a general principle of abstinence from drugs. There's a whole variety of cross sections of people that are willing to give the voters a chance to make the decision, and this is the election ballot box. Karabelnikoff said, and I think that plant medicine and natural medicines are kind of cross-cutting topic. Yeah, and they hit the pocketbooks of the established recreational and medical drugs. We found support from both conservative people as well as progressive or liberal people, he said. Alaska has a unique balance also with this really strong libertarian spirit up here, where if you're staying in your own lane and not hurting anyone, and we kind of feel like the government should stay out of our business. This is crazy. I scroll the wheel down and it immediately jumps up. It's such a pain in the ass. The policy outline from the campaign explains the proposal as building off of Colorado's voter-approved 2022 Natural Medicine Health Act, under which facilitators recently administered the state's first legal dose of psilocybin. Natural Medicine Alaska signature campaign. Interesting. In addition to establishing a licensed psychedelics industry in the state, the Alaska measure would legalize non-commercial use, cultivation, and sharing of DMT, non-peyote, mescaline, psilocybin, and what is that? Silicon among adults 21 or older under a so-called grow gather gift model popular among psychedelic reform proponents. Okay. Measure shifts away from a restrictive healing center model, allowing individuals, practitioners to provide natural medicine in their offices and at home, facilitation, increasing accessibility in rural communities that are common in Alaska, the organizer's policy outline says. Transfer of psychedelics between adults, meanwhile, would need to occur without any form of payment. Public consumption of the substance would be forbidden, subject to a civil fine of up to $100. So you can pay $100 and go out and get crazy. On the commercial side, Alaska would license healing centers where certified facilitators would supervise psychedelic administration, as well as testing labs, cultivation facilities, product manufacturers, handlers, and other related businesses. Interesting. Application round for licenses would need to begin no later than July 1st, 2028. Facilities would need to be majority Alaska owned, with at least half of ownership held by residents of the state. Interesting. Traditional healers would also be protected under the proposal initiative for ceremonial, spiritual, or cultural use of plant medicine through legal exemptions to state drug laws. They would not need to hold a state license, the proposal says, but must be certified or credentialed. Credential, there it is. That's where they can stop you as a traditional practitioner. The system would be overseen by a natural medicine control board, a regulatory and quasi-judicial agency that would be housed within the Department of Commerce, Community and Economic Development. It would include members from the public safety and public health sector, as well as someone from a rural area, a representative of the natural medicine industry, Alaska Native traditional healer, professional practitioner of psychedelic assisted therapy, and someone either from the general public or the natural medicine industry. What's going to happen one day when it gets to the point where our healers, our medicine people, our doctors and nurses are prescribing things like said psilocybin or cannabis to these people who have always been so averse to it, but yet would take whatever the medicine is that their doctors, prescribe them. When it comes full circle, and it's like, well, take 2 of these and call me in the morning. You look at the bottle, you're like, psychedelic mushrooms, psilocybin on the bottle, and it's like, wait, I'm against those drugs. Give me the other narcotics that you normally give people. Okay, I don't think we need to read all this. Let's see. It is only in Alaska, but a lot of states that are looking to legalize or have that even that battle going on are going to look at what other states are doing when it comes to what they want to do, just like what Alaska did. They built off of what Colorado had done to start with. So, who's to say that what this is playing out as in Alaska doesn't influence the next few states that decide to do this. So let's see. So Texas is trying to adopt more restrictive hemp rules after its THC ban bill failed. Okay, so in full transparency, Marijuana Moment seems to be a left-leaning website from what I've read. But yeah, it looks like Texas is trying to keep cannabis to a dull roar, because I know there's people in Texas, other live streamers that I know who live in Texas, and they just have to do it the old-fashioned way there. Veterans group pushes California governor to sign bill expediting marijuana and psychedelics research. Interesting. One day ago. What will marijuana rescheduling mean for hemp, which is already fully descheduled? Yeah, but so if hemp is fully descheduled, then how, the states can still make their own laws against it, just like Texas. So I guess you have two battles. We've got two battles there. Let's see, that was from a day ago. Another one a couple days ago. California governor signs bill to roll back marijuana tax hike. Ha! Ha! Actually taking the taxes back that they had up? Oh man, probably because they weren't making any money. Found out from Economics 101 that the lower the taxes, the more money actually comes in because people feel more free to spend their money. So otherwise, everything just starts slowing down. The more you charge everyone for everything, and then less people spend the money, and the taxes just keep going up. Let's see. One day ago, teen marijuana use in Germany declined following recreational legalization. Government study shows. Interesting. That's a credible stat in Germany. Teen use. Oh wow. Sprout's eyes are rolled into the back of his head, and I just see these like white eyes like shaking as he's Sprout. Come here. Sprout. You scared the fuck out of me, dude. He's awake, wagging his tail at me. Bro, you were like looking possessed. You having a dream or something? Jeez. He was possessed over here. You okay? He's like, he's stretching. Yeah, I'm just having a dream. It wasn't the marijuana, you guys. I've got a bunch of fans in here sucking it right over that way, past the camera, and then blowing it right out the room. So, what else we got here? Minnesota cities test limits of how much they can restrict marijuana businesses. Oh, they're testing it. They're testing limits. Let's see what you guys have to say. Dream job here. Nice. Autumn's back. What's up, Autumn? They're working on banning all Delta products which are hemp derived, right? Even though, so what they can say is hemp is descheduled, but the products you make from it are not, You want to legalize shrooms before cannabis, right? Doesn't that seem like that? Or DMT and shrooms and Molly? They want to give Molly for what do they call it? MDMA for like depression and like PTSD and stuff like that. What? But they're so against cannabis. It's because people are so. It's like these movements, you might call them, like the anti-cannabis movement and say the cannabis movement, for example. They are these big lumbering like mountains that take a while to move. And so the people that are in some of these things, like the anti-cannabis movement, they're like behind. There's a delay. They're on a delay. They're on a delay because you see all this other stuff happening, like studies and more research being done on all these other things, and yet they want to push harder drugs than cannabis because the reason I say the delay is because the feeling that when I was a kid, the feeling that people had towards marijuana in the public, I guess, was like bad, bad. Although my brother was selling it at the time, rest his soul, my brother. But yeah, he and it's like I didn't know anything about that, so there was a lot of people at that time obviously using and growing and stuff illegally, but it was this sort of sentiment. That's what it feels like. That's what I'm saying. That feels like these people that are in this sort of anti-cannabis camp, and then they're all over the board, really. But those people have that sort of like, I can't like that. I can't be I can't be cool with that. And some of it's religious, a little bit of it is a religion, but I wouldn't say the majority. I think it's just like a perception that it's had, that it's had for what, almost 100 years now. Before that, it didn't. So it took a long time to get back to where we are after that. So it's like 100-year setback, I guess, cannabis has had. Anyway, I'm rambling, but it's like it's just that's the feeling I get. Like it's like they have this sort of stank on it, like it's not. I can't be down with that. But it's funny though, because the more research it has that tells us it's medicine, the more likely people like that might get prescribed it one day, which I think is kind of funny. Let me just say this: I was pretty vindicated when the military, the army, kicked me out over cannabis. I failed 4 drug tests over 4 years. It took a while. I really made attempts to stay away. But I just wasn't down with the pre-approved alcoholism and pill popping that the military wanted you to do. And so, darn it, I found myself, using cannabis at times when I was, going through a rough time after the war. So, so it's a conflicting thing, something that you could say caused me grief in my life, but also saved my life. So it's one of those things that I had to decide in myself about it. I had to decide what was the big, downfall, what are the downfalls of it, what are the negatives of it, and what are the positives of it. And I think that's different for every person, but it should be an option. And so I get kicked out, right? And I'm still honorable discharge and stuff because I was in the reserves. I wasn't in when I was overseas. I was active duty, and so if you're not in the military, you may not understand all this, but I'm still a veteran. I still have all my benefits, right? But being in the reserves, they're like, they can kick you out from that, but they can't take away the status that you had from active duty. So it is what it is. And I'm like, okay. Now I speak out about it. I talk about it. That's one of the reasons that I talk about it or use it on screen or anything like that is to point out to veterans and to other people that there's another option besides, take this pill. Oh, you gotta take this pill to counteract that pill, and or the side effects of this pill. And then the third and fourth pills to counteract that, and it gets ridiculous for everything. And then there's the alcoholism, which is kind of a prerequisite in the military. And then there's the other option, which is the final commitment, if you will, and it's something that too many veterans have taken the sort of so to speak easy way out. And those 3 options I think pale in comparison to cannabis. So it is what it is. Maybe it would be nice if psilocybin or something else would do a longer term kind of a job, which they've done. Oh, so let me finish my point about why I brought up the military. Is I felt vindicated when I started seeing all the stories about the VA and the military doing studies on using psilocybin or cannabis or MDMA or what have you on depression or PTSD or other things. And I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, oh, so the VA is studying cannabis use for PTSD, but the military wanted to kick me out for self-medicating. So it's just this kind of full circle vindication. You know what I mean? That's the stigma the government wanted you to believe. That's right, Elisa. It was like it was at the same rise of technology that spreads propaganda at such a faster rate, and I'm talking about radio, then television, you know, obviously the internet and beyond. But I'm talking about the time that cannabis was being demonized, 1930s, 1935. You had the rise of all these different outlets and different media sources that could easily just change a lot of people's minds really quickly, especially when we only had 3 TV channels, and it was like if they could get those 3 networks in sync on a certain topic, the whole nation was going to think that way. So anyway, what time is it? Well, we got time for a little peruse on X. If you guys haven't hit the like button on Facebook, make sure you do so if you want to get on the door prize. Let me check some notifications here. Hey, Peaceful Warrior shared me out. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I cannot see comments on X, so if anybody is watching me from X, come find us on Rumble. Let's see, I got some bookmarks. Yeah, that's right. So Dr. Sean Baker, I show his feed a few times. I like to go look at his feed. He's a doctor who's all about the carnivore diet, and he's been put on a public enemies list as #1 from the people who, from his words, people that want you to eat bugs and soybean gruel. So interesting. I don't know what is this. It's the full article. Let's see. Changing Markets Foundation. They want you to eat less meat and be happy about it. And I'm sorry, but eating more vegetables will kill more animals. That's a fact. Unless we grow differently, you know, underground, above ground, inside, all that. But yeah, there's this list, and I saw it already. I can go back a little bit to see it. Executive summary. In October 2025, the Eat Lancet Commission will publish Eat Lancet 2.0, an update on the planetary health diet first released in 2019. While the first report is one of the most influential academic studies ever released, it also faced significant online backlash, much of which was orchestrated by the meat industry. So it's a meat industry versus the not meat industry. This report provides the first in-depth mapping of the connections between some of the industry-friendly scientists, doctors, health influencers, journalists, and authors behind the initial backlash. We explore how narratives have evolved and how industry is mobilizing a communications drive ahead of Eat Lancet 2.0, due for release in October 2025. First, okay. Well, I'm going to show you the picture he took here. His name right at the top, Sean Baker. They give you the X handle and the total engagement, the total posts, and they call it a misinfluencer category, Dr. Health Influencer. They're calling them misinfluencers just because they don't like their points of view of being carnivore and eating meat. Only meat. Like he only eats meat. I don't know how long he's been on it, but he looks pretty damn good for whatever. He's like 50 something. The lion diet. That's funny. This is him here.
me just talk to you about what we're trying to achieve here. Now, for many of you guys who have followed me over the years on various social media channels, have seen improvements in their life and their health, and that's wonderful, and I'm super happy for you. And, you know, we've got this sort of Make America Healthy Again momentum. However, you can see how hard that is to basically affect, because, you know, there's a lot of invested interests that don't want to see this happen. There's a lot of fighting going back and forth, and it is very challenging for the government to pivot away from, you know, the sort of conflict of interest that's inherently built in through, you know, basically our healthcare system, the pharmaceutical companies, and so on and so forth. And so if we're going to make America healthy again, I think a lot of it has to start with the people themselves. You know, you and I making a difference. That is what we have been doing, and are trying to continue to do at a greater scale at Rivera. We are currently raising funds so that we can expand the scope of what we do and bring more people to metabolic health. You know, 3 years ago, we raised money, and thankfully around 3,000 of you guys invested something like $3 million through crowdfunding. We used that money to hire the engineers, to build out the program, to hire the clinicians, to do all the stuff that it takes to jump through all the legal and regulatory hurdles to, you know, get a company off the ground in all 50 states in a medical thing, which is, you know, as you might imagine, full of regulation. And we've successfully done that. Now we've successfully got physicians and clinicians in all 50 states, which was no small feat. And we've also now run hundreds of patients through our program and have seen some wonderful, wonderful successes. And you can read about those, you know, the outcomes that we've achieved by using the link where we've published that data. So here's what the ask is. You know, we are looking for investors, obviously. And so this is not a donation. This is an investment. So you actually will have a piece of a stake in the company, you know, and as, you know, the company gets successful over time, your investment grows in value as it should. Now, again, full transparency here, there's no guarantees on any of this stuff. You know, obviously our mission is to succeed, to expand, and so far we've been on track. We've hit our goals. We'd like to continue to do so, but again, that takes, unfortunately, capital. And we prefer to raise it from, you know, the general public, because then we can keep true to our mission.
That makes sense.
Once we start involving a lot of venture capital,
an investment opportunity there into health. Keep up your great work. Let's see. What does it say here? Oh, it doesn't say. We need your help. Yeah, this is crazy right here. So they basically mention, and basically as far as very near doxing the people they don't like their opinions. A list of people I should follow. Yeah. Look how cute the fruits and veggies look with all their bright colors. So cute and balanced. It's all the 4 food groups in there. Isn't that special? Okay, Dr. H. Okay, I'm not gonna get down in the weeds too much there. I think I had another bookmark or two. Yeah, Candace Owens. This is not really a health and wellness per se, but with a lot of these attacks that have been happening, you know, just you might want to think a little bit more about being self-reliant, a little more self-reliant as much as you can. There was this guy, I guess, during the assassination of Charlie Kirk, who was just kind of standing there nice, kind of like calmly and texting. And he was from some place called WireFi. I don't know. They're getting to it. There's a lot of data that's come out since that incident, and it's not good. And then we had a shooting at an ICE facility today. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but at least I think 3 people shot. I think I don't. Last I heard, I think 2 of them might be deceased. Let's see. Well, this is about cloud seeding. I don't know if you guys, anybody interested in cloud seeding, but you might want to watch the entire episode of Timcast IRL. This guy here they have on as a guest is a company that works for a company that does cloud seeding, where they literally take a cloud that's already got moisture in it, and they amp it up by sending a drone into it, and then make it rain more or snow even more. It's a good clip here too, about 4 minutes. COVID nurses speak out from Children's Health Defense. It's an 18-minute video. I don't think we're going to watch that all, but we could listen to a few minutes.
In the beginning, it was a lot of pressure to receive the vaccine. So a lot of my fellow nurses and we did a lot of discussion. We ended up writing a lot of religious exemption letters for each other. And about 50% of my unit did not end up getting the shot. There was a lot of pressure to do so, you're going to lose your job. But they did not fall for it. And so we did end up with about a 50% acceptance rate, though, just because, and then they regretted it. I talked to a lot of people who had a lot of regret. We ended up going to seek legal counsel as to whether or not we would be dismissed from our jobs, what kind of recourse we would have. And we ended up, most of them went with mask mandates. I fought a lot against the mask mandates and ended up being on a forced LOA, or leave of absence, for 12 weeks because I was allergic to the masks they were requiring me to wear. And they finally found one I could wear, so I came back to work. Mainly after that, it started being patient experience. So it was patients who were coming in with pulmonary embolism, who were with myocarditis, with bacterial endocarditis. We had strokes, we had neurological deficit, all within a week or 2 weeks after receiving their vaccine. And I gave many of them, alternatives on what they could do to seek recourse for the injuries they received. I don't know if they ever pursued it, but it was hard seeing 25-year-olds, 35-year-olds coming in with heart attacks, with strokes, with endocarditis that required valve replacement in their heart because they received the vaccine. So then we also saw ICU patients who were getting remdesivir, who were ending up on ventilators, who ended up on dialysis because of remdesivir. And we did have a meeting with administration about our concerns. A group of nurses we talked to all of our hospital administrators, and we said, look, this is what we see happening. And there really was no change. We were completely ignored.
So, like I said, that's 18 minutes. You guys are welcome to check it out. I did bookmark it. Children's Health Defense. It's a pretty decent follow. Who Watch Pandemic Agreement Intergovernmental Working Group. Oh yeah, I think I pulled this up last week. Yeah, you can watch. It's like such a boring looking video, but this is these are the people who are trying to be the arbiters of what to do health wise. And anytime it's a literal trope in movies and TV shows. Anytime you have that consolidation of power like that at the top, like such as in like a religious context, but then also in this context, you have a bunch of bureaucrats at the top that aren't necessarily doing actual patient work, and there's a big disconnect usually between the people out there actually working with the public and these people. But you can watch them in their own words and see what they have to say. It's a 10-minute clip right there.
Across all sectors in One Health spirit, integrating scientific expertise into political and stakeholder dialogue will ensure the legitimacy and effectiveness of the process.
Thank you, Co-Chair. We understand yesterday there was a lot of discussion on the scope, and today we will have another session on the scope of use of terms. It's helpful to have an initial discussion on on the issues associated with the scope and use of terms at this stage.
The scope and use of terms.
A better understanding of these terms will arise only when they are seen from the context of process flow of access and benefit sharing, right from the detection of pathogens, risk assessment, sharing with the PAP system, and the delivery of benefits, and so on. In recent years, there have been many outbreaks due to highly pathogenic viruses. Most recently, there is an outbreak from Ebola virus in Kasai region.
Ebola
to other concerns of monitoring the use of the PAPS material and secret information. All of these items are on the table for our discussion, and we thank you for reminding us of the importance of this term, PAPS material and secret.
Yeah, it's like those are the people. Those are the ones that want to, decide what's best for everybody's health at the world level, the World Health Organization. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, Chris, let me get you on the wheel right here, Chris. I'm probably gonna get everybody from the Facebook right now. So if you haven't yet done so, you better hit that button because I'm about to refresh one time. And grab all the likes. There we go. And I'll even try to take myself out first. Treat myself nice. Take myself out. Alright. Got it. Oh. I had a couple more things that I would like to go check. Let's check up on Johnny Paradise. What's he been up to? What's he been up to? I think we checked his page last week. Uh-oh, they speak out against the culling. Okay. Interesting. This is just happened from 5 hours ago.
BC, he had a... Hi, Mickey here with Politico. This question is for Smith and Ford. I was speaking with John Catsimatidis regarding the ostrich situation in BC. He had a meeting yesterday with RFK Jr. and Dr. Oz on this matter. He essentially wants the PM to intervene in the case, and he said that he's spoken to both of you on this issue as well. Will you be applying pressure to the PM on this? And do either of you have any issues or any concerns about the federal government's treatment of farmers, particularly in this case?
Well, I have asked my agriculture minister to look into it to see if we had a similar situation in Alberta, what would we be able to do differently? And one of the things that I think is worth looking at is when avian flu went through that herd, it did kill 20% of them, but it didn't kill 80% of them. So maybe there is something to learn from whether there's an immunity or some kind of vaccine that could be developed as a result of having that flock survive. I think that maybe we have to think about different ways to do animal husbandry and animal safety. And why not try a different approach? So I'm open-minded to see if there's any persuasion on that. I gather that the U.S. government is interested in partnering with BC if they wanted to do that. I'd be supportive of that because you can see that this case has really taken on a lot of public sentiment behind it. And if we can find a better way than doing mass culls in any situation like this, I think it's probably worth it to try to find a better way to do it. I don't know if you've got it.
Yeah, no, I've talked to John many times about these ostriches. I'm an animal lover, full disclosure, and I want to do everything I can to help him. I think he had a plan to bring him down to Florida as well, into a sanctuary down there. So anything John needs, I'm always there to support him. He's a good man. He cares for animals, and he puts his money where his mouth is, too, when it comes to making sure that he protects all animals. So, thank you.
Huh. I don't know. I don't know if they're actually going to do anything about it. So he's been sharing a lot of the same ostrich stuff. China, no digital ID.
Is now all of China. So the latest in this dystopian outrage that is now all of China, apparently, is I once again cannot buy food. A couple days ago, my uncle and my cousin helped me get a cell phone that is linked to a Chinese bank card so that I could buy anything. But now, apparently, it has been flagged for some reason, and I have to pass facial recognition identity verification. which is insane because all I want to do is just spend my gift card balance on this debit card.
Do not cover your chin. Open your mouth.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I have to open my mouth. Oh my god. Terrifying.
Verification failed.
And of course, because it was my cousin who set this up for me, I did not pass verification. I guess it's a good thing that the Chinese app is not racist. But now I once again can't buy anything.
Interesting. So range of adverse reactions, a reaction that is off the scale. 113,700 young boys finished their mRNA injection to protect one boy from going to the hospital. Dr. Marty McCary says 44 boys will get myocarditis, rate of 1 in 2,600. The Swiss study shows 1 in 35 had biomarkers associated with heart damage.
In the blood, it indicates that myocardial cells have been damaged. 77 participants, median age 37, more women than men in a healthcare environment. So working age adults.
He said 77.
Minimal risk from severe COVID. Almost none. I mean, mRNA 1273 vaccine-associated myocardial injury was adjudicated in 22 participants, 2.8%. God dear me. If someone...
Feel free to watch the rest of the video. We're going to have to end this here shortly. This pledge to stop the World Economic Forum.
The corporate elites gathered in Davos, Switzerland at the World Economic Forum to plan the future for the rest of humanity. Their scheme, which they call the Great Reset, will drain what's ever left in your bank account and strip mine the beleaguered middle class of its remaining equity. During COVID, the WEF actually dictated the lockdowns that shifted $4 trillion upward to this new oligarchy of corporate billionaires. The bankers, the investment houses scooped up our homes, advertising that you will own nothing and be happy. They have a plan, but my plan is to stop them. I spent a career as an attorney fighting these corporate robber barons in court. I know how they work. I'm familiar with their impulses to commoditize our lands, our waters, our homes, even our children, and our workers and our public health. I've proven that I can beat them again and again and again and derail their schemes. They spend billions in advertising and propaganda to make us feel powerless, but they've underestimated the power of we the people.
All right, that's got to be it there, but yeah. These world organizations don't seem to have a great track record, in my opinion. Kayla, let me throw you on the wheel. On the Facebook side too. Oh, there's Margaret. No, she was already on there. Good. I already look at this? No. Good luck, everybody. I'm tired. I went to the gym. I haven't been to the gym in a few days because I'm kind of worried about going to the gym while my rib is healing. I'm like, I don't know if I should be, I don't know if I shouldn't be, but I definitely feel better when I've been to the gym. What do you think? Took the dogs for a walk, then I went to the gym. So the walk was like a warm-up, you know, like a good warm-up, and then right into the gym. Hey, it looks like Margaret wins. It says Margaret is watching. Margaret, are you here? Are you here, MJ's Baked Goods? Pretty sure Margaret's here. Margaret. It says you're watching like 3 times on my screen. I am, she said. Okay. Probably 30-second delay for me waiting. All right. Congratulations, Margaret and Perry. Let me write it down. By the way, guys, if anybody's interested in an Indoor Farmer t-shirt, let me know. For my birthday, I just want you to buy some merch. My birthday's not for a couple months, but I can plan ahead. What are you doing, dude? It's starting to... Got too many pages open here. Too many tabs. Okay. OMJ, she's got 47 coupons. And Perry Wood now needs a new line. Gotta move Perry to a new line. And he's got 17. No, that's... So he's got 18. Excuse me. Get your butt out here. Okay. Oops. That's funny. I didn't do the door prize yesterday. Yeah, I did. It was that was the swag pack. Okay, and tomorrow, people in the boxes, we're going to talk about side hustles. You know, like, what's your side hustle? Alright, guys, I think I'm going to head over to locals for a few minutes. Hang out there for a few minutes, and then we'll get out of there, go run some errands. Thanks, everybody, for chilling. And actually, you know what? While we're still here, I'm Might as well see if the Westwood one wants to give me 60 cents. No? Okay, I'm seeing 13. Oh, here's one for 23. Pickaxe. It's kind of a longer ad read, though. They need to offer me more than 23 cents. What's this one? Rumble Premium. Rumble Premium. Go to rumble.com/premium/studio to get $10 off an annual subscription. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. Rumble Premium, with Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform. No pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you come for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO at the checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. Let's go. Awesome. All right, guys, we'll see you over on Locals in just a minute. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central Time, p.m., is when we have people in the boxes gonna play our game that we've been playing. It's been fun. I can't wait to go back to old topics. You know, it's crazy because playing this game sort of makes it all new again and all fun, and you get to play in the audience. I think that's pretty cool. And speaking of which, hey, what's up, Rick? How you doing? JB, I think you were saying you might volunteer. I'm looking for a person that wants to be outside the game that we can send our stories to. So then I can play the game as someone who doesn't know whose story is who. I would love to do that. It would be really, really nice. Let me know. Anyway, we'll talk about it later. Have a good day, guys. Remember, everybody's got to eat.
Yeah. My green thumbs in the game. Wailing the indoor farmer. Check my name. Sustainability. We about to reclaim. This is how we do it. Keep it in the frame. I'm wailing the farmer, the indoor king. Living off the grid, what the city can't bring. Got my hydro set up, my LED lights. Growing on my greens all through the night. Self-sustain, that's the mission. Growing my own, I'm not missing. Indoor farming, the hustle's real. Waylon's here, and he's